Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Doordash and Walmart customer calls out crappy gig workers. So in a recent live stream with my Gone Wyld co-host Budsoda, we went over a clip online while I was, and still am technically, in Orlando on vacation. I saw a clip and we went over it in the Gone Wyld live stream. And it was about a Doordash and Walmart customer calling out crappy gig workers. Not a whole lot was positive, and apparently she was speaking from experience. So with that said, we are presenting a clip from the Gone Wyld live stream about what the customer was saying about Doordash and Spark drivers and shoppers, how it actually is for gig workers on those platforms, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me in my market, Budsoda's market, or any of the markets that are mentioned throughout the live stream may not apply to you. So with that said, enjoy the clip.
Delivery drivers are driving me absolutely insane. Talking like DoorDash and Walmart delivery drivers. This is very first world problems, but let me kind of give you some context. So I'm 38 weeks pregnant with my 5th kid. My husband had surgery on his wrist on Monday, and he is in a cast. His arm is like this right now. So 2 days ago, I ordered DoorDash because I wanted to. That's what my husband wanted for dinner, and I'm too pregnant to argue. I don't care. So we ordered DoorDash. It's going to be about an hour. We live in a heavy, like, touristy area. There's a lot of traffic. It's very normal. So I went and checked in about 45 minutes just to see about where they were. And they hadn't moved. Like, their car hadn't moved. And they hadn't picked up the order yet. So I messaged and was like, hey, are you picking up the order? Because we've had that not happen before. But I also have had it where they, like, the GPS hasn't updated till they open the app again. So, like, maybe that's it. So she doesn't respond. So my husband offers to call her from my phone because I don't like talking to people. And I was not excited to be nice. And so she goes, yeah, no, I want to take a break. I want to pick it up in like an hour. I beg your finest pardon. You want to what? So I was like, no. So we contact DoorDash. The lady on DoorDash was very nice, but she was like, your food's basically been sitting for an hour. So if we assign somebody else to it, they're going to pick up your food that's been sitting there for an hour, and then it's going to be cold, and it'll be a whole different issue. So we ended up canceling it, and then I just didn't get another DoorDash order, and I went and picked up food because my kids were hungry at that point, and it was past the time that we normally eat. I'm like, okay, lady was crazy. She got blocked from my account. Again, the lady who handled it was really nice, but I not thrilled. And this has happened several times. Courtesy of our area, I guess. So today I ordered something from Walmart. My husband was out. He wasn't here. I didn't want to drag all the kids with me. Our Walmart is really busy, especially on weekends. Again, touristy area, so people who are vacationing here are shopping in stores. So I spoiled myself. I ordered things that I need tomorrow for delivery and was like, okay, cool. So the person, first item, they mark as unavailable. And I'm like, it's something that there's a lot of choices. So I listed like 3 choices and I was like, hey, do they have this, this, or this? Or what do they have that is similar? And they were like, we can't make substitutions. And I was like those 3 things are not available? And they were like, no, we can't make substitutions. What? So then they marked another thing, and I was like, literally the 3 things that you have marked are the reason I ordered delivery. Can you go check? And they were like, yeah, we can't do any substitutions. I know that that's not true because I do Walmart delivery pretty frequently. What do you mean you can't do any substitutions? So anyways, it wasn't like that they couldn't do it. That could be a Walmart issue, but it was like the way they responded was like not their problem. I'm so sorry. I tip really well because they're doing something that I don't want to do. But you're still providing a service. I've worked in the service industry. I don't understand the attitude that I am getting from delivery drivers. Like, I don't do it if you don't want to do it. No one is forcing you to do DoorDash or Walmart delivery. Pick another job. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I do want to say one thing from the start. I don't typically like the end
Uh-oh.
phrase of get another job, but I do understand. Am I okay? I know the Wi-Fi can be a little spotty because of the
Yeah.
hotel as opposed to
Yeah. So go ahead
like
and
you can hear
retell what
me?
you're saying.
Okay. So again, I don't Okay, so clearly like honestly I never liked the point of get a different job. I do understand it here because they are blatantly just not fulfilling the job at all. And in fact, one person said, I'm going to pick it up in an hour. Now, whether or not that's accurate or not is a different conversation. Um, I don't, they claim it several times this has happened. I have never heard of that. I think that's the first time I've heard somebody outright say, I'll decide to pick it up in an hour. Like I've heard of hour-long delays because it's a no tip order, but I've never heard of someone taking an order and deciding not to deliver it for an hour's worth of time. Like what's the point of that? You're
Uh,
only losing money and you're wasting the customer's time.
yeah. So I've heard of that happening. Like
Really?
drivers holding people's orders hostage. They took the order, but decided to go on a break, usually at the same restaurant they were picking up from anyway. And then once they're done eating, they'll finally get up and deliver the food. I have heard of that happening before. I mean, I'm on all these different DoorDash pages. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. But I haven't ran across that very recently. So it's not out of the scope of belief for me that she sat there and by the time she was done, you know, dealing with support and everything, it took an hour to deal with that, which is crazy. But the Walmart Spark one, so she does it. She's a Sparker. She does Spark. Uh so basically the person shopping, I don't know if it was in store or she got like a Spark driver, didn't want to substitute, just wanted to be lazy and just hit refund, 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 refund. No. I know some of these stores are getting on their metrics and they get in trouble for doing too many substitutions. They'd rather refund the item than just not get the original, which I've never been a fan of. I'm like, fulfill the dang order. If it's like something stupid obvious, oh, they're out of the twin pack. Oh, here's the singles. Grab two of them. Or at least
Well,
one.
I know I can speak for me when I do Walmart Spark. They actually do suggest that. Like that is a part of the suggested like options nowadays. Like that'll be like among the first actually speaking. There is one instance to where like they switched brands as opposed to switching to like two smaller packs, but even still like there are options to where you could substitute. Granted, if there are customers that just prefer just a total refund. In fact, when I did a brand switch, I was actually told to return those the two items that they did not want to like back to the shelf after I was done shopping. I was like, "Oh, I guess they didn't want that. That didn't work out." Okay. Dropped them off, went back, and yeah, that was it. But in most cases, you'll have 3 or 4 options to substitute items for. Like, that is typically how it goes. And maybe I'm speaking for only my area, but my area is also very touristy, very very active community that very big on gig work. I'm getting gig orders now and I'm not even in my own area. It's just one of those locations that's normalized. So it's a little surprising to me when somebody says there was no substitutions as a gig worker. Now, as an in-store shopper, I know that some of the in-store shoppers, like you said, like they end up getting all up in their metrics, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like in most cases, whenever I deliver well, that's not entirely true. When I do deliveries on Walmart Spark nowadays, I rarely do a single delivery. Almost every time, it's either a stack of 2 or 3 or a .com route, or I'm doing the shopping myself. There's
Yeah,
no in between.
yeah. The in-store shoppers I know gotta get certain metrics. They have the goals for that. They get all whacked up, and they basically will say they got it out to us, and they really didn't. And that's why those metrics get screwed up,
Mhm.
and I've had orders be canceled as I was delivering them because they never got scanned in the cold chain. So after so long, the system automatically cancels the order because it thinks it's been out of cold chain forever when it hasn't. Um, I will say that
Mhm.
yeah, the metrics are a little too strict on the store end. Um, they're not, but like they're not like Aldi and Price Chopper here that have. I'm sure Publix has it too. They have an Instacart in-store shopper, like they use the Instacart app. Uh,
I think it depends on the area. I think, I know my specific area, they actually have, they still have shop-only orders. But I know in Boca, they actually have a fair amount of in-store shoppers, so it really depends on what area you're talking about.
yeah.
But
Um, read the comments here. Uh,
so the tube gone goofy, can't comment on my short vids. I don't know what's going on with that. But drop by to say thanks for the DD hiring parody vid the other night.
yeah, that
They
was
hit it
good.
head on. So that, by the way, he's referring to one of the Gone Wyld clips that I make, and you could see those short vids as well as other segments of the Gone Wyld live stream. If you're not watching this on the replay already, like you can watch them on my channel or soon to be the Gone Wyld clips channel. The only reason why that's not up already is because Google's a bit of a butt. So it turns out, fun fact, if you're like me and have a multiple thousands of emails with Google or Gmail in this case, and you use the same phone number over and over again, they actually do have a limit. I did not know that, nor did I think that it would be such a big deal to where I needed to pay attention to that, but that's the case. So now I have to figure out which one of those emails I have to repurpose into the Gone Wyld clips channel, because I know that I have a couple of them that I could do it with. I just want to make sure that I'm not like overlapping into any other problematic situations. Um, so that is why it was like that's why that's not already a thing. But yeah, look forward to seeing some of those clips on that channel. They probably wanted a customer to cancel so they can get free food. That's another thing about that. Like it could be just about getting free food, And instead of them outright saying, hey, I'm going to eat your food, or just not showing up with the order, they wanted to force a cancellation. But I you'll
wouldn't
notice
put
how
that
they're
out. I wouldn't put that out
what?
a possibility. I wouldn't put it out a possibility. I had that driver who stole my Taco Bell and went and sat in a parking lot, pretending to be on a break, quote unquote, and they tried to pull the. They couldn't understand, because Spanish speaking. I'm like, yeah, but the chat
Mhm.
auto translates. So
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
and just I've had that happen to me, so it wasn't fun. I think that's might have really be what it was. I want a break, aka I want your order because it looked good to me. And the worst part is, it's usually good paying customers. If she's a Spark driver, I'm betting she does tip well.
I don't know if she's a Spark shopper or Spark driver. I think she's a Spark customer, and it just happens to go through Spark. I think that's what she was saying, but I'm not 100% sure on
She
that.
said she goes to pick up Walmart herself, like as in
Okay.
like delivering it. I'm pretty sure she said that. But
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of these gig workers and like it's very rare when you'll find a gig worker that actually orders as well as do the deliveries themselves, because a lot of, like, I'll speak to me. I did for a while. I've been cutting back on that in general, but that's always how I've been.
yeah,
Um
I'm doing it out of convenience, so I don't have to sit there and borrow someone's vehicle. And the traffic right there isn't so nice, so I don't want to have someone run the light last second and get T-boned or something dumb, because I've already seen it to where we almost got T-boned. It was not fun. Right there in the
yeah, but
main.
you're also where you are for your job, so that's not the same thing either.
So, got TKAK. Thank you for tuning in from Texas.
Yep, thank
Um,
you for tuning in from Texas.
so we got a lot of different areas here represented. I'm just a little overtired myself, guys. So don't mind me. If my energy's not high, like
Yeah,
I can home
I
with
think what
more
we're
work.
gonna yeah, tell me about it. By the way, make sure you join us for the Driven Wyld live stream, and you could be part of the conversation too. We're looking forward to seeing you there.
Driven was the only wave of must. Take you back, no looking backwards.